companions to the broken-hearted, friends to the despaired. But I know that hope's eternal, as sweet as springtime air. And at the end of roads less traveled, a friend will meet you there. Walk with me, I'll share your burden, show you that I care. Together down the road less traveled, going who knows where. Questions come much more than answers, but this with you I'll share. At the end of roads less traveled, a friend will meet you there. I know a friend will meet you there.
This is Sharon Shaw, a 49-year-old mother of two. She lives with her husband Ken and runs a small travel business from her home. In 1993, Sharon was diagnosed with liposarcoma. Exploratory surgery determined that Sharon's condition was inoperable. Her only hope was to travel to Vancouver for treatment. Sharon is fully aware of the seriousness of her condition and the need to leave home and family for treatment in Vancouver. Sharon is also aware that at this very moment in time, she has found something very important for her immediate emotional needs: a caring, compassionate, and empathetic friend.
Well, Ross, it's really nice to know that you people drive for us. It takes a lot of tension and worry off our shoulders. The treatments are hard enough to go through without having to worry about driving, and it's really appreciated. It makes it so much easier.
Sharon is one of nearly 18,000 cancer patients being transported annually by a volunteer driver of the Cancer Car Project. Cancer cars have been operating since 1989. Currently, there are 10 vehicles being used, 7 in the Lower Mainland and 3 on Vancouver Island. The project is financed by the Freemasons of British Columbia, and Freemasons account for about 90% of the volunteer drivers. The program provides free transportation to and from treatment centers with pickups from airports, bus depots, ferry terminals, and private homes. The Lower Mainland project is run from this office in the Canadian Cancer Society Lodge on West 10th Avenue in Vancouver. Cancer patients are requested to call the office within 48 hours in advance for pickup. There are separate telephone numbers for Vancouver and Vancouver Island, as well as a toll-free 1-800 number.
Freemason volunteer drivers. Yes?
I'm going to come in tomorrow morning at 6:30. Can you make that for me?
6:30?
No.
To be picked up at 6:30.
Yeah, well, I've got to be at the clinic at 6:30.
You've got to be at the clinic at 6:30. Okay. Well, we'll arrange that. We'll have to get someone to pick you up, probably in their own car on their way in. What, 6:30, and you're going to the clinic? Mm-hmm.
8764.
Uh-huh. Okay, how about if we pick you up about, let's see, 6:30? We better pick you up about 6 o'clock then. That's not too early for you, eh?
Yeah. 12:45. That's right. Thank you.
John Blackmore is the operations manager for the Lower Mainland and has been with the project since its inception.
I had nothing to do. I had just been retired from teaching, and it fell right into my lap to help organize the thing in the early days. And because we were all of the same idea that this thing should operate properly, we managed to get over all our difficulties without any problems. And slowly we found the necessity for a committee or somebody to be in charge. And again, I think largely because I was the one who had time, they put me in charge of the original operation of the show. And then, of course, I realized that I couldn't do it all, and the show is now run by a committee of 5 people, and I'm just one of those 5. Having said that, in reality, the whole show is run by the drivers and the dispatchers who come in each day and who give their time willingly and constantly.
The volunteer drivers have a strong commitment to their passengers and have been known to drive under extreme conditions.
A couple of years back, when we had a fairly heavy snowfall in the city for 2 or 3 days, and almost all forms of transport had closed down, including, I think, the buses and the taxis, we were the only people to keep running. And in the course of about a week, I think we only failed to pick up 2 patients. And that was not because we wanted to not pick them up, it was because we couldn't get to them because of all the cars sliding down the hill towards us and knocking us sideways.
There can be no more emotional time for a driver than when he has to transport a patient to Children's Hospital. This 12-year-old is about to be transported from the Easter Seal House to the cancer clinic. Her mother has already acknowledged the value of the cancer car project.
All the drivers have been very nice and very helpful. It's made a difference. I'm coming down here and dealing with a sick child, and all the new things that we've had to deal with has been scary sometimes. And having a friendly voice, drivers asking where we're from, or just chatting about this or that or the city, it helps.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Okay. We'll phone. Oh, I forgot my bag. We'll phone when we're ready then. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks for your help.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
The Cancer Car project is a very important part of the accommodation and transportation service provided for cancer patients. There is an obvious desire on the part of many people to make the non-medical time for cancer patients as relaxed and as home-like as possible. This is evidenced by such facilities as the Cancer Society Lodge, with its fireplace and relaxed reading room, and by the accommodation provided for mothers and children at Easter Seal House, and by the nearby Ronald McDonald House. Children's Hospital is no exception. The main lobby is designed to look as comforting and friendly and as un-hospital-like as possible. The Cancer Cars project works harmoniously with all these facilities and services, as Children's Hospital oncologist Dr. Christopher Fryer explains.
Well, many of our children are sick. They're on therapy and they're not feeling very well. They may have some nausea. They may need to vomit during the treatment, during transportation. They've often lost their hair, and their self-image is difficult, and to get on to public transportation can be very, very difficult. In addition, a lot of these children are have low resistance to infection, and we would prefer them to not be exposed to a lot of general public during this period of time.
One sad but inevitable fact is that the need for cancer-related services, just like the Cancer Cars project, is bound to increase. The projected number of new cancer cases for 1993 was estimated at over 116,000 in Canada, and nearly 15,000 in the province of British Columbia. There will obviously be a need to expand the Cancer Car project to accommodate these growing numbers. Plans are already underway to expand the system to the interior of the province with the building of the new cancer clinic in the city of Kelowna in 1997. The Cancer Cars project has already seen one expansion of the system, and that took place here on Vancouver Island. Currently, the project maintains 3 vehicles, which operate mainly in the Nanaimo-Courtenay area, but service communities from Campbell River in the north to Victoria in the south, and including Port Alberni. Volunteer coordinator for the island is Herb Ingram.
Well, in 1990, the Freemasons of BC entered into a contract with the Canadian Cancer Society to provide a van service on Vancouver Island from Nanaimo to Victoria so that patients could be taken down for treatment. The one van ran for a year, and it was discovered at the end of that time that we needed another one. So at which time the new van was sent to Port Alberni. I'm sorry, to Campbell River. And the year later, we needed another van. So that new van went to Campbell River, and our old van went to Courtenay as a standby.
Vancouver Island has approximately 125 volunteer drivers and 9 dispatchers. 6 dispatchers in Nanaimo, 2 in Courtenay, and 1 in Campbell River.
They operate out of their own homes, and there's an answering machine that goes with the job so that they don't have to stay in all the time. The Campbell River has a dispatcher up there, and there's also another dispatcher in Courtenay. So the North Island run as a separate little unit. And they are different than the mainland. We don't have a centralized dispatch service, and the drivers are not on duty each week. They're called whenever we need them. And the dispatcher coordinates the drivers with the patients. It's worked very well, and we've had very few problems.
The greatest testimonial to the need for such a system as the Cancer Cars project must ultimately come from the very people for whom the system was designed, that being the cancer patients themselves.
Well, I've just been very blessed for the last few weeks because I've been down to the cancer clinic for 2.5 weeks, and I get a ride down and a ride back, and everyone at the clinic all talk about the wonderful service we have from up island. It's been tremendous, and the drivers are wonderful, and they're very obliging, and we just feel very safe, and we really appreciate it all. So everyone speaks highly of the service that we're offered, and it takes all the irk out of for our families who don't have to drive us down. So I just want to say thank you.
Well, I've got lung cancer, and I've been going down for treatments and staying at the lodge. And I find that this going down with the vehicle supplied like this is far better than having to drive down myself or having somebody from home, from Port Alberni, having to drive me down. And I think it's well worth all the compliments you're getting for it because it's a fabulous service.
Drivers are seem very concerning people. Or your welfare is their main thing. Very friendly, very obliging. Just can't say enough about them. They're just great, wonderful.
The Cancer Car project is run by approximately 250 volunteer drivers, 90% of whom are Freemasons. The Cancer Cars project is just one of many charities supported by the Masonic family of North America. To explain more about this most important service, here is C. Grant Wardlaw, Most Worshipful Grand Master.
And 5 years ago, in our Grand Lodge communication, the Grand Lodge officers, in conjunction with all of the members, decided that we needed a long-range program for the Freemasons of British Columbia. And they established some goals for us to look forward to. Those goals were to enhance the image of Freemasonry and also to practice charity. Then we decided that because of that particular communication, we established the Masonic Community Charity Fund. And this really is the start of the cancer car program as we know it today. It started with 3 cars. It is now, in this particular year, moved up to 10 cars. It operates in Vancouver and on Vancouver Island. And we're looking forward in the near future that 1997 is the target date when it will be established in the Okanagan Valley. This particular program not only takes money to operate it, it takes people. And these people are volunteers. At the present moment, there's about 250 of them. These volunteers dispatch, drive, yes, and they even wash the cars to make sure that they're clean for the people who have to ride in them. The only stipulation for those people who need transportation is they must have cancer. We're very proud of these people. And this program is the envy of a lot of grand jurisdictions throughout North America. When I talk about it, I'm able to say to all that listen to me that without the talents and the time and the energy that these volunteers put into the program, it wouldn't be the success that it is. And above all of these volunteers, regardless of what they're doing, have one thing in common: a devotion to a project which they hold very dear to their heart. Thank you very much.
The dawning of a new day, and with each new day, new challenges. For some, each new day means a new battle with pain, a new struggle against despair, or a new search for hope.
On the road less traveled, fewer ones walk there, companions to the broken-hearted, friends to the despaired. But I know that hope's eternal, as sweet as springtime air, and at the end of roads less traveled, a friend will meet you there. Walk with me, I'll share your burden, show you that I care. Together down the road less traveled, going who knows where. Questions come much more than answers, but this with you I'll share. At the